Hey, welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. I'm Wood. In this series we're comparing two accounts that I started at the same time on the same day, and I'm playing the same way with one major difference. One account is free to play, the other has a monthly spending budget of $50. We're in day 76. Let's check our progress. Hey, thanks for joining me today. The green border is around the free-to-play as always, and you can see here, right next to me, no, the other way. If I look over, there's 95 of 100 fragments there. So we're working on the spider tournament, just trying to finish off those fragments. And you can see here in the daily login rewards, we got a 3-day XP banner, and tomorrow getting an epic book, and then the next day getting a sacred shard. That'll be really nice. We have to rebuild our shard stockpile. So something kind of hit me last night, and I just wanted to say something real quick about, you know, the game is the game, and it's fun and everything, and you meet some people and you kind of make friends, you know, long distance friendships. First of all, I'll just show you here. We're in clan versus clan tournament, and looks like just initially we're doing pretty well, but you never know in the first few hours how it's going to shake out, and a lot of clans do a really good strategy of they save their resources, and they save enough resources until the last few hours, and then they just pour resources on if they feel like they can snipe the win, and it's a good strategy, and I've been bitten by it many times playing clan versus clan. So it, you know, might pick you up an extra ring or two, and so that's something that a lot of clans do. It's not something I've ever tried to do or been in a clan where we've done that, but we've had it done to us many times. So it's a good strategy. But as I was looking at clan members, you know, I just thought, you know, I was looking through here and at points, and I saw Kyle down here, USN Stone Sober, and I thought, well, he just probably hasn't logged in yet today. And then I looked at clan members just to see when the last time he logged in was, and it turns out he hasn't logged in for 3 days. So, and I don't care about the game as far as that goes, but just, you know, Kyle, just if you see this video, Kyle, and you're still out there, just drop me a line, let me know you're okay. Kyle seems like a really nice guy, and he was very nice to me and allowed me to bring these two accounts in here. And as far as progress goes in the spider tournament, see, I'm still on the free to play here, and we are very close, 150 points away from getting our 5 fragments that we need. And then we'll just continue on with clan versus clan. You know, maybe we'll get up to that 4-star chicken for the spider tournament. We have some other events going on over the next few days. So we've got one of these Titan events coming up. In just less than a day, this event will start, and it will run through the end of the month of July 2024, if you're watching this later. And these can be a lot of fun, and we're seeing Mithrala here. Usually the top reward in one of these, you know, and it goes by, you know, sections in these Titan events, and so the last reward in the last section is usually a 5-star soul, and I'm guessing that's what this is going to be. We were talking about earlier today, and we had one of these for Mikage, and I barely remember doing it, but I know I did it. But there was a 4-star in that one, and because she's a mythical, I hope this isn't just a 4-star. It'd be great if this was a 5-star. There's going to be some primal shards and possibly a mythical skill tome or two. So those are usually a lot of fun, but they just include a whole bunch of events. Case in point, on the tournaments here, you can see that this classic arena takedown that we're going to start in the same amount of time, in just less than a day, is going to be part of that Serpent Titan event. It'll just list which ones are included as we go along over the next couple of weeks. So that'll be kind of fun for people, and you can participate at whatever level of that you want to, and I always enjoy those. And I got a Tormund from one of those once. I got a 5-star soul for another champion. I can't remember her name. Zinogre Blademaster during that Monster Hunter collaboration. So that was kind of fun. We had that. So they can be good, and they're usually kind of tough events. You have to almost do everything that comes up during those 2 weeks. You can miss a few things, but not too many. It's just like doing another fusion. And at the end of a fusion like this, a lot of times we're burnt out, and and don't really feel like, going through that again, and maybe take a break for a couple weeks to prepare for the next fusion. It's kind of optional whether you want to do it or not, but they usually have some pretty good rewards. I think they can be worth doing, and if you're using Mithrala, which if you have her, most people that have her do use her. I still use her as kind of my safety net in live arena. When somebody puts a bomb champion out and I need a high resistance cleanser, that's who I always put out is Mithrala. There's some progressive chance events over the next couple of days for CVC, and I almost never want to participate in these. I don't think it's a good idea to participate in them. We do get clan versus clan points for pulling new champions, but you'd have to be close to Mercy and really want the champion that you're going for. Like, it's the one you want the most, I think. And I think in that case, it probably makes some sense to do them. But I really like to avoid these because you don't have a much greater chance. And if you're not going for a fusion or something like that, I think it's smarter to save your resources. But if it's a champion you really want and you're close to Mercy, that's, totally, of course, that's, it's something I would do if it was if it was one of the champions I really, really wanted and I knew I was close to Mercy, then I probably would do it. But yeah, and I also thought I'd mention this Desired Soul Summon Pool event. These are kind of cool. If you're doing a Sand Devil tournament, there's some of these fragments in the Sand Devil tournament. It's a pretty good summon pool. You've got a lot of champions here that do get used. These are champions that if you have them, you're probably using them. So I think, this is a good one to go for. You're most likely to get a 2-star epic, one of these, which the 2-star epics aren't that valuable. But if it's a champion you have and you don't have a 2-star for them yet, it's better than nothing. Like I said, most of these epics even are champs that if you have them, you're probably using them somewhere. I'll just give you an example. For my main account, just in the epics here, I use my Shamail, my Seer, my Oboro, my Maneater, my Whisper, my Seeker. I actually do still use my Haikatoon, my Royal Guard. I just stopped using Farrakhan very much, but no, actually I still use him in Faction Wars. He's still in my Faction Wars team. Venom Mage I use. Husk, not as much as I used to, but every once in a while in Cintranos I still use a Husk. Fane is my damage dealer for my Clan Boss team, believe it or not. I have been using Skull Crusher a little bit in Cintranos. He actually shows up in some of the Fire Knight stages. Burngiri I've never used before. That's the one so far that I've never used. Every once in a while I use Teruel in Cintranos. Haven't really used him anywhere else for a while. And I've never used a Sepulchre Sentinel. So out of those, I only don't use 2 on my, it's pretty much end game account. And there's 2 epics here that I don't use. So yeah, I think this is a really good pool. If you have these champions, you're probably using them somewhere. So it's a good one to go for. But on these 2, experiment accounts, I don't plan on trying to do this event at all. I think we're just going to stick with Spider for clan versus clan and then probably do some Minotaur or something later. Here on the budget account, I'll just show you here. We're in the same place. 39. Oh, that means we've got a few. I think I've got 41 fragments for Drexthar. So I have a couple more on the free-to-play. Little advantage there. So 95 fragments here also for the budget account. And we are basically in the same place on the Spider tournament. We're a little behind. Yeah, we're a little behind on the Spider tournament. Got a few points to make up there, but I think we'll go up to this 4-star chicken for this Spider tournament because the chickens are really valuable for us still, and that's not a ton of extra energy to go get a 4-star chicken. But this Sand Devil, this is interesting. Okay, so the fragments for me for both of these early game accounts are only 3,800 points. Now on my main account, I'm just looking over here on my other screen. Yeah, on my main account, that same number of fragments is at 6,300 points. So 38 to 6,300, that's a big difference. And that being at 3,800, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna look and see how many points per energy we get on that, and then make a decision to see if it's going to be efficient for us to do one of those. It's not as useful right now this early game as a champion is. Because we're more likely than not to get something that we don't have. So I'm not sure it's worth the risk on that one. I mean, if we did get something that we had, even a 3-star, 4-star would be great. but it may not be worthwhile at this point to do that. I always look at 5-star boots just to make sure that they're not speed. Just we're getting up a pretty good quantity of 5-star speed boots, but you can always use a few more. We keep building new champions. And I did. I don't know if you noticed the points here on clan versus clan, but yeah, we're doing okay on points just for the first few hours. But that's just because I booked a couple of the champions. I tried to put a couple of books into Kymar, and then I realized, this goes from a 7 to a 6 turn cooldown. I was like, you know what? I was going to try and get that cooldown, but 7 to 6 really isn't that big of a deal. This one is kind of big. Getting this Abyssal Gates down to 3 turn would be good. I think we're gonna use Kymar mostly in arena at first. I mean, he's gonna be useful in a lot of places, but I don't know. I just made sort of an executive decision, and I just decided, okay, I think Xavia is going to need the books more for her skills, and she's got 2 AoEs, and I want her to do a lot of damage on those. I did finish booking Fenshi and Skrank because we are using both of them in Clan Boss, and every little bit helps with them. And then I put a few books into Necro Hunter. I have a 5-star soul for him. I want to put a blessing on him and see what he can do. I've heard he hits really hard, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to see how he is. Yes, I know it's probably a waste of my time and resources, but it's my time and resources, so I'm gonna do it. And you might be subjected to it. You may have a problem with that, and I apologize if that's the case. But yeah, so we're doing some scrolls on Necro Hunter. I think I'm just gonna build him and see as a single target nuker. We can always use nukers for tag arena and stuff, so I don't feel bad about it. I'm gonna build him. I'm gonna build Xavia. But yeah, right now we're mostly focused on Kymar. And I did put a book into him thinking, well, maybe we get that cooldown on the Seal of Magic, or, put a few books and get these. But I really think Xavia is going to be a good wave clear. She's got 2 AoEs, and they're both pretty hard-hitting AoEs. And I thought, on certain stages and certain dungeons and bosses, even before we're able to get all the poisons we need, she still might be a really good wave clearer for us and get those AoEs back. I thought maybe with her 2 AoEs, in Doom Tower, and she's the wrong affinity to try and make her into a fast campaign farmer. We have mostly Spirit affinity on 12.3, and it's the most efficient place to farm campaign for experience. That's why people don't build Force Nukers for campaign farming. But Xavia, if she was another affinity, she'd be great for that. But I think there's going to be certain, Doom Tower waves and bosses and dungeon waves, and with her 2 AoEs, that might be pretty valuable even before we get, the poisoners that we want to get to be able to clear those waves quickly. That's sort of my projection, looking at how we could utilize her best. But yeah, I did put a few books into her, and like I said, I finished a couple of the epics I was working on. Over on the free-to-play, I did finish booking Tagore. I really like him. He's a really good champion. So we're just going to keep going on progress there, and I'll just save the Packmaster fragments until we're ready to summon him for something that's going to benefit us, like a clan versus clan with personal rewards, or the next fusion maybe, or maybe this new Titan event. I don't think we'll be participating too much on this new Titan event, so that's not that. But first part of August, we're probably going to have another fusion coming up, so we'll see what that looks like when we get there. Yeah, everything's going well, and I'm just happy we were able to get the fragments all collected for the Packmaster, and that'll be fun, especially on, again, free-to-play luck. The free-to-play has the Fellhound, so we'd be able to use the Packmaster with the Fellhound. And I was thinking it might be kind of fun to have a Terror Beast on one of these accounts, because he's in the Orcs faction. But Gore Mask is farmable. He's also part of the Rosin fusion, but he's farmable, so you could get another copy of him. He's in the Orcs faction also, so I don't know. I was just thinking it might be kind of fun to play with. That will be pretty inefficient for both of these accounts. After I say it out loud, and I think, yeah, that might not be a good idea. But that said, yeah, we have probably higher priorities than that. But I think Packmaster is going to be important. The Packmaster with the block buffs, and then just with a provoker, I think we can control the Head of Decay and the Head of Blight a lot better than we have. That poison cloud is a real problem, but then also you need to have some kind of a provoke to control the Head of Decay. So Packmaster is going to be just what we need for that, and so we'll summon him soon. But we've got a lot of stuff to build before we get there. I'm just looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be fun, and we want to start getting our Mithrala fragments. I don't know if we'll be able to pick up the souls for Mithrala in this Titan event, but maybe, like, if we could maybe get a 2 or a 3 star or something for her by the time we get her, and hopefully within that first year we will be able to get her. That would be a lot of fun, and so I'm kind of excited that they did that. I thought that the Titan event was going to be maybe the soul for the Packmaster, but I guess they decided. But we also have Path of Light coming up, I think, next week. And then we also have a Deck of Fate coming up. Yeah, and I can't remember which one was first. It's on the calendar. But yeah, the Deck of Fate and then the Path of Light, those are always kind of fun too. So the Path of Light event might include that 5-star soul for Packmaster. Those are usually pretty out of reach for an account this early game. But you never know. We'll have to take a look at it when we see it and see what we can do. But that's all I had for today. I shouldn't worry too much. Kyle might just be on vacation or something. I'm not really worried that he hasn't logged into the game. That's really inconsequential to life. I almost consider Kyle a friend, even though I've never seen what he looks like or know who he is. But like I said, so Kyle, if you see this, drop me a line. Just let me know you're okay. Thank you for your kind attention and all other kinds of attention. I've been Wood, and I appreciate you.